Welcome to HomeFront SitRep. I hope you're in for a great show today because I'm just a veteran talking about what's on my mind and maybe yours.
You can find HomeFront SitRep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can also check out HomeFront SitRep's YouTube channel.
Buckle up, the show is starting.
Still in the fight, different battlefield, same damn life. No spotlight shining on the ones who serve, just great sacrifice and a whole lot of nerve. From small town shops to a helping hand, we're lifting each other, yeah, that's the plan. No red tape, no filter, no disguise, just truth in the fire, behind our eyes. This is HomeFront SitRep, hear the call, where the real ones rise and the fallen stand tall. Every voice matters, every story's legit. We're family here, this is HomeFront SitRep. From the shadows to the spotlight we step. Yeah, this is HomeFront SitRep. From the scars we carry to the lives we rebuild, from the weight of silence to the strength of will. Non-profits grinding, boots on the street, no headlines chasing, just mission complete. Veteran alone, still chasing the dream. From a mic to a message, we're building a team. Creators and fighters, yeah, we all belong. Turn the pain into purpose, turn the hurt into song. No politics, no games, no divide. Just warriors standing side by side. This is HomeFront SitRep, hear the call, where the real ones rise and the fallen stand tall. Every voice matters, every story's legit. We're family here, this is HomeFront SitRep. From the shadows to the spotlight we step. Yeah, this is HomeFront SitRep. We don't forget, we don't walk away. We carry each other through every day. From combat boots to a boss to a seat, still standing tall, still hard to defeat. Real stories, real impact, real people. This ain't just a podcast. This is a movement. This is HomeFront SitRep, loud and clear, for the ones still fighting year after year. Every voice matters, every story's legit. We're family here, this is HomeFront SitRep. Yeah, we rise, we grind, no regrets. Welcome to HomeFront SitRep.
Welcome, everybody, to a Sunday edition of HomeFront SitRep. How is everybody doing? Gunny, how are you, sir?
I will tell you what. I've been better, but I will say this: I am alive. I'm well. Had a very, very interesting, to say the least, experience today on my way back home. But no, this weekend took off to Richmond, Virginia, so the team could jump in for the NASCAR race last night. Man, great show. Those boys in the cars put on a heck of a show too. But no, Kevin and Mike, man, got over pretty much right straight up and performed right there over the top of everybody. I mean, nobody had to gawk their heads to the right, to the left to watch it come in. We had little to no wind all the way up to altitude. Landed right on the front stretch. Then they stretched out a huge American flag on one side, a huge honor and member flag on the other side, invocation, all that stuff. We get on the road, went home. I started my trek home. I ended up staying in Covington, Virginia last night, right on the border-ish of Virginia, West Virginia. I think it's the area where John Denver is truly singing about, not West Virginia, the state, but Western Virginia, right?
Right.
A lot of people don't know that. But then on the way home today, coming up 77/64, in between Beckley and Charleston, the mountain beside me, or the hill beside me, decided it wanted to give out and rushed across the road, picked up the car, had me going towards the barrier. I did what I do and put my foot down a little bit harder than I usually do, turned into it and got out of it on the other side. The two vehicles that were behind me, probably 8-10 vehicle banks back, they stopped. I watched headlights just bury and then settle back down as I just kept driving. Yeah, I made a mess of the rental car. No damage, but there was a lot of dirt, debris, and everything else all over the car. So I got that cleaned up before I turned it in. But no, I had a great weekend. Other than that, I went out a day early and went to the Norfolk area. There's a pretty well-known Marine who is buried out there by the name of Carlos Hathcock. If you don't know who he is, look him up. I'm not going to tell you. And then from there, about an hour and change northwest, is another Marine by the name of Lewis B. Puller. If you don't know who he is, look him up. I'm not telling you. But that little cemetery, little church cemetery, Saluda, Virginia, I think is where it was. Went back to the hotel, woke up yesterday morning, and I took off about another 2 hours northwest to another little town. And there's a Marine buried there, Captain Lloyd Williams. Captain Williams was part of the reinforcements for Belleau Wood, and they arrive in Belleau Wood, and the French are retreating. And they're like, "Yeah, you got to retreat. You got to leave. The Germans have a stronghold." And his reply was, "Retreat, hell! We just got here."
Yeah.
Captain Williams later died of wounds received during that battle, and then was buried near Belleau Wood. And then the family had him brought back here to the States. So he's buried in Northern Virginia. I went up there to see that. And then I went to see the wall that's up in DC that USA is doing. Dude, those things are massive. It's pretty neat. Like what would the red stripes would be are all LED screens, and it flashes a name up there for about a minute, and then it kind of fades out from the center out. It fades out. And then from the center out again, it brings up a new group of names. And it does it on each one of these boards. So the outermost portion, the outermost thing on the wall is where the video boards are. The innermost portions have the branches of service listed. When I got there it was around 11, I think, 10:45, 11 o'clock, there were easily 100 to 150 people in one lane. So if you're looking at Lincoln, the one that's to the right, that had probably 100 to 150 people in it. I mean, the line was stretched out almost all the way. I think it's 23rd Street, whatever street it parallels the National Mall on the left-hand side. And then going the other way towards the Korea War Memorial, there were probably 80 to 100 people there. So I didn't have the time to wait for an hour to 2 hours. But I wanted to see it. I wanted to check it out. It's pretty moving. It's pretty cool. And it looks like it belongs there. And it's just, everything's made to look like it belongs there. So
Yeah,
it was
pretty neat.
Yeah.
So this weekend was a lazy weekend for me. The wife so we got, had work all week, and then this weekend I was off. I took the weekend off because this heat here, it's been brutal. temperatures in the 90s, heat index 100 plus, and it's just been brutal. And I work outside all day, every day. And so this weekend was supposed to be family time because the kids are leaving. They leave. We moved Lorelai in on the 19th and then Grace on the 21st. So we have one day in between when they move in. And, you know, this weekend was supposed to be all about family. Well, the kids had other plans.
Always. They've been stuck with you guys all summer long.
Right.
You had all summer long to do stuff with the kids.
Yeah.
And now you want to spend the last weekend with them? Really? Before they go back to school.
But here's the thing, though. So my youngest works 2 jobs. So she's always gone since she graduated high school. She's working 2 jobs. My other, the oldest, she's been working 1 job, but she's working 8 hours a day, you know, so they're not home. And then when they are done with that, they want to go hang out with their friends and stuff. So last weekend before they go to college, we move them back into college. Mom wanted to do some family time. So luckily we got some family time yesterday. Today we went to church this morning. And then afterwards, the oldest went to work, and my youngest she cleaned her room for a little bit. Now she's gone. She's out with friends and doing the things. And I'm like,
last weekend before they go back to school, they don't want to spend it with mom and dad.
Right.
Seriously.
Right.
Especially the youngest. She's been with you for 18 years now. She's got ready to, fly
the coop. Yeah, she's ready to fly the coop, man. It's it's bittersweet. We're going to be empty nesters. So that's a whole new.
They better call before they come back. I already know what you're going to have in that house.
Right. The wife is like, man, I'm getting an apartment.
You're going to have a birthday suit room.
Yeah.
I'm told I can't say that the N word anymore. That ends with the D.
Yeah.
So Hey, but I did get you something this weekend.
What'd you get?
I made a detour. A 12-minute detour.
Some chicken nuggets. Some chicken nuggets.
No, I got you a friggin' Buc-ee's challenge coin. Hold on. From the Rockingham, Virginia Buc-ee's. So it's got a bear silhouette on the mountain. So each Buc-ee's coin is the same on the front with that weird ass beaver, if you will. But the back is different on every challenge coin. So don't say they never got you anything.
There you go. So I got you a new hat.
Yeah.
Yours is
at your house. Where is it's not sitting here, Kara?
I know.
It's not sitting here. You sent how many cats to my house? Hold on.
Dude.
Wait, there's another one.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another one on my backpack for when I leave on Tuesday.
Dude, I got Julie's like, man, we need to do something with all your hats. So like taking them downstairs. I was like, no. Because I cycle through so many so quick.
Your hats.
Well, yeah.
For 2 years, I've worn a different hat on the show.
I know. You got way more hats than I do, bro.
And now I'm cycling through patches.
And more hats.
I got another freaking hat down to your house I have to freaking wear now.
I know we need to get together and get that to you.
Yeah, that's not happening anytime soon, dude. I jump on a plane 6 o'clock Tuesday morning and head to Maine. We have a show Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the Red, White, and Balloon Festival in Lewiston, Maine. So super excited about that. It's the first time the team's ever been to Maine to jump. So I'm excited to bring that to my friends and family that are in the area that have not been able to make it to one of our performances. And, they get to see 1 or 3, depending on what they want to do. But I already have fresh Maine lobster lined up for the boys when they get in. I'm picking them up on Thursday, steaming them, Miss Julie, and then I'm going to clean them and separate them for everybody. That way, when they get on Friday, we just have to nuke some butter and throw the lobster in the butter and let it warm up. So, I'm super excited to give them a taste of Maine. They're going to have some red hot dogs while they're there. Or snappers, we like to call them. They're going to have some whoopie pies, and I might even make them all drink a friggin' nasty ass Moxie. Ugh.
Yeah, there you go. So when we had Dr. Dice, our guest tonight, when we had him on before, I can't remember, were you on here or not? All right.
I don't think so. No, it depends on what time of year you have him, man. If you have him in the fall, I'm not here.
Yeah, no, I just couldn't remember when.
No, I was not.
So we had Dr. Dice on before. I'll give you a little brief introduction of who this guy is.
We can't, hopefully people don't, confuse him for Triple H, because there's a little resemblance there.
All right. So today's guest has spent his life running toward situations most people would run away from. He's been a firefighter, a paramedic, a United States Navy SEAL, and eventually he found himself fighting a battle that no amount of tactical training, physical strength, or determination could defeat on its own. Addiction. And a lot of veterans deal with addiction. He knows firsthand that being strong doesn't make someone immune to trauma, addiction, shame, or losing their sense of identity. After reaching his own breaking point, Tony entered recovery and began.
That's your dial-up internet, Willis? Bro, you've got to figure this. You work for a company that does internet. And your stuff is like, just here. Hold on. I'm going to take this is
in his life, not by forgetting where he'd been, but by turning those experiences.
My guy.
I think everybody's having internet.
No, that's not everybody. Don't blame everybody. It's you with your friggin' 19th century dial-up. Come on now, dude. Look, you froze again. Yeah, look at this. Oh, this is beautiful. 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 This is making for a hell of a show, Willis. I'm going to send that to you right now. I'm going to bring Dr. Dyson and let him talk, since you can't figure out what's going on your end, because you're still froze.
Oh my God, I'm rolling backstage right now. I'm rolling.
He's still froze, right? So you and I can have a conversation.
There we go. There we go.
He can unfroze. He can figure it out.
My heart goes out to you, because I was having the same issue right before all this, and I was literally grabbing a cord out of the garage and hardlining the sucker to the wall. So.
I mean, he's got everything hardwired into his house. It's just they don't have fiber where he's at yet, so he's still running a little bit slower than everybody else.
Still on AOL dial-up.
Yeah,
yep.
Yeah. He's still on dial-up.
Well, it's good to meet you, Samuel. I didn't catch you last time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I work with a professional skydive team, so the fall takes me away almost every single weekend for
poor guy.
I was just at NASCAR this past weekend.
My heart goes out to you jumping out of planes.
I'm not allowed to jump, so I've got some shrapnel in some pretty vital areas near the femoral.
Okay.
So I stay on the ground. I do all the ground safety, ground control. I do some of the sales and some PR for the team, but I still get to travel the world and be part of it. So it's really
well, that's good. Do what you can with what you got. That's what we do.
That's it.
That's what we do. That's right. We all have different challenges, and we all have different advantages. And it's what do you do with it? What are you going to do now?
Sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. So I know you've been on the show once, and I know Willis had you on, and he was trying to give you an introduction before he had his issues. But if you would please introduce yourself again to the world of HomeFront SitRep, and to those who may not have caught you the first time.
If everyone out there listening, if you heard me last time, well, it's good to be back. If this is your first time, my name is Dr. Dice. And as you heard introduction, I've done a few things: former paramedic, firefighter, Navy SEAL, fucking alcoholic, drug addict. I did spend my time, a lot of time. I could say I got a master's in blowing my life up, and I wrote a book about all that shit. And the book should be, instead of titled "After the Trident: A Navy SEAL's Battle with Secret Shame and Addiction," it should just say, "Here's a story of an asshole," for 3/4 of the book, who finally hit bottom and then found a way to earn his Trident. He finally figured shit out, got back on his feet, and he found the secret lies in service. How can you be of service to others? I was able to find my honor again, and the more hard-headed you are, the more self-reliant you are, the more just the more grit you have, all that shit can work against you. All of that can keep you from getting the help you need, And I'll probably echo this towards the end of our day, but I want to get it out there early. If you need help, I want you to kind of think of this differently. If someone were to ask me for help, believe me, it is an honor to be asked. There is no bigger honor I can get from a brother than having them choose me to ask for help. That is huge, and I hold it as such. And so this whole mindset of I don't want to bother people or just I shouldn't have to, but you are honoring someone when you reach out and you ask for help. So we're going to circle back to that, but I want to get that message out early, that there's a lot of people hurting out there and a lot of stuff up here stopping them from reaching out. And that's been my message. I kept myself sick for a long time, and it was ego, it was secrets, it was shame, it was all that stuff. And I will say the military didn't help. It didn't help. They really they put you through this thing called boot camp, which is pretty much a processing camp, or in a concentration camp where they teach you how it's not a peaceful process. It's like bullying school. Under threat of duress, I will fold my skivvy stack. It is just this intense introduction to a world. If you don't do it right, you're going to get your ass kicked. And when they get out of the military, you don't go to a de-boot camping school. You were just back out in the real world. And all of that has to be unlearned and relearned again, how to function in the outside world. So it's good to be back. Today, some things I'd like to discuss and talk about. This notion called emotional compulsivity. And in a nutshell, that's addiction's one thing, but there's all kinds of addiction out there. There's like a work addict, an exercise fiend. There's success driven. There's obsessive compulsive. All of these, I think we can broaden the realm of addiction. And this term, emotional compulsivity, meaning that I will seek out outside means to control my emotional state. And it could be anything.
Yeah.
But doing it too much with the same thing and not finding some kind of balance usually ends up flipping the apple cart. So we want to talk about that today. I want to talk on 12-step recovery programs. For some, there's some stereotypes about them, but I want to talk about how freaking broad they are. And pretty much, people don't realize there's over 200 different 12-step fellowships out there. I want to touch on that because there's bound to be one that's right for you. I'd like to talk about my book, After the Trident, I just dropped, and about some of the crazy twisted shit I put in there. Believe me, I fought with my editors about shit. They're like, you can't put that in there. I'm like, dude, I gotta. It's the truth. You can't. You're going to go to jail. They're going to sue you. You can't, And I was like, just get it out. I had to sign a bunch of shit to get it released. I want to talk about just what life's been like since the last time I've been on. There's been a lot of big life events, and I've surprised the way in which I navigated them. And on top of all that, Sam, I want to get to know you a little better and see if we jive. It looks like it's just you and me doing it today.
Yeah. So David said he's going to be resetting his modem. I don't know how long that's going to take him to do that. He may even just get on his phone and do it from his phone, but he says he's almost back. Okay, we shall see there, Mr. Willis. We shall see. But yeah, no. So I don't know if Willis told you before. Willis and I met at boot camp. So we met on the Yellow Footprints at Parris Island back in 1997. After boot camp, we go home for 10 days of leave because our boot camp is 13 weeks.
Okay.
And then we go back to the School of Infantry. So you either go to the School of Infantry Training Battalion or School of Infantry Marine Combat Training.
Wow.
So anybody that is not going to be a 03XX, so infantry for the Marine Corps, goes to Marine Combat Training. From there, they go on to their follow-on school. So for anybody that's infantry, they go to the School of Infantry, and then from the School of Infantry directly to their unit. But we were at School of Infantry together, and then we ended up being in the same unit in the same company. We ended up 2 different platoons, but we saw each other on a regular basis. Served with each other for the first 3-ish years of our career. He went to a different battalion so he could deploy without having to extend. I planned on getting out. So I went over to 2nd Light Armored Reconnaissance Battalion, had such a great time over there, great leadership group that I re-enlisted, got selected for recruiting duty.
Oh,
Did my 3 years on recruiting duty, rotated back to the Fleet Marine Force, ended up back in 8th Marine Regiment, but this time with 3rd Battalion, 8th Marines. 10 days after I arrived, man, probably not even 10 days after I arrived, I found myself on a combat deployment to Haiti in 2004. I took, I think there was like 7 or 8 young men that I picked up from the School of Infantry on Friday. And then the following Wednesday, we deployed.
Oh, shit.
The battalion was already there. So we just fell in on the battalion. Came back from that, deployed to Iraq in 2005. 60-ish days in country. No, 30-something days in country. I got blown up for the first time. Was able to stay in country and continue to do what I was doing. 30 days after that, got blown up for a second time and got sent home. Suffered some pretty traumatic injuries that resulted in me getting medically retired, but not until 5 years later. 6 years later. Good Lord, 6 years later.
Yeah.
But went from 3rd Battalion, 8th Marines to be the assistant operations chief, then the operations chief of 6th Marine Regiment. And then I made a lat move to the V-22. And I spent 5 years at the training squadron on New River with the V-22. Even though I spent 5 years there, I have 3 hours on the aircraft. The rest of the time was spent more of a leadership role, helping the sergeant major out. And then, with a large command comes, a lot of responsibilities and unfortunately some legal and, issues that I helped him take care of. But yeah, and then I got medically retired. Didn't do too much for 2 years. I worked a security job that I thought was going to be great. The company caters to the Fortune 500. On July 4th, I got written up for giving somebody a threatening look. And I called my wife at like 2:00 in the morning. I'm like, hey, do I need this job? She goes, we're going to struggle until the VA, gets everything figured out. But no, you don't. I'm like, all right, coming home.
Wow.
So I quit that, which ended up being on July 5th, which is also my oldest son's birthday. Came home, and then I really did nothing for 2 years. Sat at home, did nothing. Got involved with some nonprofit stuff, and then found the skydive team in 2014, and I've been doing it ever since. So
nice.
Yeah, I'm in my 13th season right now. Matter of fact, I think next week or the week after, I'll hit my 13th year on the team, rolling into my 14th season. So yes, it's been great since. Every jump that we do, we honor a fallen service member or a fallen first responder. We use the DoD, fallen heroes website to pick who we honor, and we try to get it, to the day of the person. Like we're going to Maine next week. I picked 3 guys from Maine to honor while we were there. So,
Nice.
but yeah, so that's basically me. And then, Willis needed a co-host, and he had me come on a couple of times. I was on as a guest like yourself, just talking about my life events, my struggles, and overcoming adversity. And then he's like, hey, I need a host tonight. Can you come on? I'm like, yeah. So I'd co-host, just sit here like this and ask a question every now and then.
Oh my God.
And then now I'm, probably 2 years into it now as his co-host. When I can, fall's getting ready to start. I'm out of pocket all next weekend. The weekend after that, I'm home. But then every week from I guess the first week of September all the way through probably mid-November, I'm gone already. I've already got everything booked out. And then we'll slow down a little bit, end of November into December. And then we have about a month and a half, 2 months off, January, February, and we start the rotation back up again next year.
Nice. Well, damn, Sam. Thank you for your service and sacrifice, man. Fucking honorable. Much respect. Much respect.
Yeah, you as well. Thanks.
Yes. Oh, man. Gosh. So, we have some similarities, and we also have some places where we veer off considerably. Oldest of 8 brothers and sisters. Just a quick recap, catch you up. Oldest of 8 brothers and sisters, homeschooled in the mountains of Northern California. Population, 89. This little town called Horse Creek. When I turned 16, there was like one girl within 100 miles who wasn't related to me, and I was like, she didn't like me, so I said I'm out of there, and I ran away from home. Ran away from home. I got into a junior college. I discovered an EMT class that was appealing to me because with that certification, I realized I could save someone's life, and I found that instantly appealing to me. Started to get involved with that. Took a bunch of other classes. My dad died when I was a young man. Went to his funeral. All 8 brothers and sisters kind of lined up crying, and my grandfather, retired colonel in the Air Force, leans over and goes, men don't cry, suck it up, and I just did my best as this young man, and I don't remember crying after that. I was just like, I gotta be the man. Yeah, I gotta. Hey, look who's back, Willis. The internet problems are going around, man.
Well, we're getting hammered with a storm right now that I did not know we were getting.
Shit.
So I apologize for that.
He's gonna blame it on the storm when it's his mom.
Listen here, Gunny.
Oh shit. So I'm just recapping my story for Sam. And my dad had passed away, and I was kind of in love with this idea of saving the day. I figured, those guys are the man. And I got a job on a fire rescue rig, a volunteer fire department at first, and I played your go off, and you get to show up and, fumble around, be the hero. And that developed into the Clemens Fire Department. Did that for 2 years, loved it. But it seemed like we'd pull a body out of the river, and we're like fucking working them up, hoping the paramedics would get there and take over. Because I don't know what I'm doing. And they would show up in the ambulance, code 3, and they appeared like they were the man. So I transferred over to an ambulance service, the Northern Siskiyou Ambulance, and I love that job. Code 3 to the scene, code 3 to the hospital. It's like twice the codes. They seemed like, you're laying in the bunkhouse waiting for someone to have the worst day of their life, and they're going to call me. Boom. Get to activate. Good guys. Great. But we go on calls where, you have to wait at the curb at a domestic dispute until law enforcement shows up, secure the scene.
Yeah.
And so here comes these guys, faster cars, armed, kicking in doors, busting skulls. They were the man. And so I started taking like night classes, and I was getting ready to transfer to a sheriff's office. And I had my chief pull me up and say, Dice, what are you doing? You're jumping around. You're just going to keep doing this. I said, well, what's top of the food chain? And he just blurted out, that's a Navy SEAL. And that was my entire decision-making tree. I said, okay, good. I'll go down to the Navy recruiter, sign me up. Want to be a corpsman in the SEAL team. The fucking recruiter fucked me, Sam.
I mean, I will tell you, I did not. Any question that my guys asked, I gave them a truthful answer. Now, I was 3.5 years in the Marine Corps. I did not know anything about the Marine Corps other than Marine Corps infantry.
Oh my gosh!
I didn't know that our MPs had 2 different levels of MP, like a field MP and a garrison MP. I had no clue. So I did have guys like, "Oh, you didn't tell me." I'm like, "I didn't know."
Oh man,
no. But yeah, I did not lie to any of my guys.
Somebody out there is looking for you, just like I'm looking for that recruiter.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, I've run into guys that would be like, "You," and I'm like, "What, dude? What are you gonna do? Seriously, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? I'll tell you what I'm gonna do."
I know.
I know he knew the difference between a corpsman and an engineman, an EN.
Oh, for sure.
So he signed me up as an EN. I had to go to engineman A school. My recruiter said I could stand up in boot camp and raise my hand and ask to be reclassified, which is
no.
Well, you can. It's not going to happen, but you can do it all you want.
Shut up. I had to go to engineman A school, which made getting through buds like life and death. It's like, dude, you don't want to be an engineman. Do not quit. So going through buds, got injured the first time, had to fucking do hell week a second time.
Man.
Made it through. And listen, I don't know about your service, But when I joined the Navy, it felt like my drinking kind of turned pro. Like I thought I knew how to drink, but these guys, it was an honor. It was honorable to drink, and I took that to heart. I was like, hell yeah. And I bought in, and there was another level to it that I loved. The utility that the service taught me about drinking. If my buddy's having a bad day, his girl left him, his dog died, he wrecked his bike. I knew how to sit down with him with a bottle, and I now knew what to do to get him through it.
Yep.
He's having an awesome day. I get through it. He's just, he's depressed. I can help you. I kept the flask in my first aid kit because it was like a solution to the emotional ailment. It was the utility. It was like the Swiss Army knife of emotions. And I now knew how to handle this particular section of my life. Anything someone's going through, me and a bottle of Jack could fucking figure it out. Yes. And that to me was exciting. I mean, I always had flasks on me. I love the paraphernalia of drinking. I love throwing down the guys. I love like the what do they call them? The monster mashes, where it's a bunch of obstacle courses, but some of them have like tequila shots and some of them have hot sauce. Yeah, that stuff. Oh, I just loved the way alcohol was intertwined in the service. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Does that sound familiar to you guys at all?
Oh yeah. 100%. So I grew up like we talked before. I grew up in Bardstown, Kentucky, where 90% of the world's bourbon was made. So I smelled the sour mash every morning going to school. So I drank pretty heavy before I joined the military. Mm-hmm. But once I joined the military, it amplified. Dealing with whatever I was dealing with, whether it was a stressful field deployment or a distressful deployment to Haiti or wherever, it definitely amplified to the point where the Marine Corps, my chain of command, said, "Hey, you're an alcoholic. We need to fix this." So it definitely, I definitely went on that pro level. Definitely.
Nice.
Sure. Well, I mean, and when you go in a UDP to Japan, right? You go and see the sights, you get scuba qualified, you become a gym rat, or you just spend all your money at the bowling alley and the bar.
Yeah.
That's the 4 things you get to do,
The
right?
4 options.
And that's because you can't leave the island,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a lot of us spend a lot of time at the bowling alley.
There we go.
Yeah.
So
there was, over on TikTok, we got a comment said that they didn't drink when they were in the service. So that's I applaud them for that.
Yeah. Hey, guys, I've been working for the last almost 15 years now, working with veterans, and as they go through and navigating substance abuse and treatment centers, and they actually have a red button they push when they get a team guy in there, and I run out there and try to make them feel special and tell them how fucked up he is. But anyways, these guys I'm working with, I get to see how the years go by. I can see the military's response to their drinking, and it has been changing over the years. It used to be, boom, DUI, you're gone, or it used to be alcoholic incident, you're gone. And I'm seeing more and more a clear-cut path back. I'm seeing them they'll put effort into salvaging the sailor. They'll put effort into getting you back on the line. They'll give you a chance, they'll still not deal with a problem if it develops further. But I'm also seeing a shift in people not drinking for performance reasons.
Yeah.
Yes, they're fully choosing not to drink because they know they're a better soldier without it. And
that's happened in the past 3 to 5 years.
Yes,
with that, because when they switched everything from strength and conditioning to sports performance, when that whole shift happened, and especially in elite teams, it became, because you have some people embedded that are helping you train and understand your macros and all that stuff, and good cholesterols, bad cholesterols, good fats, bad fats. That whole change, that whole shift, it went 180, and people just stopped because they know that, especially on the beer side, it's not good for your performance, right?
No.
The some of the harder alcohols doesn't have the hops and the stuff in it that is bad for you. even though it's still bad for you for reaction time. But it doesn't have some of those things that weigh on your gut, right?
Right.
Like the beers and the ales and whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's affecting your sleep score. It's really and really technically no amount of alcohol is good for you if you're out there for 100% performance. And so we're seeing a lot of these high performers lock in and obsessive compulsive about that. Their physical fitness, their macros, getting their diet dialed in, their sleep score is up through the roof, and that becomes their obsession.
Yeah.
Your money's going into nutrition. You're neglecting the family from the workouts, and that becomes the addiction. And the trouble becomes, how do you handle that? Well, you got to stop working out. You got yeah, it's a whole different animal dealing with different forms of addiction that often reward the person who's suffering from it.
Right.
Yeah. So I want to get into that. I want to talk more about that. But before I get there, the teams for me back then, let me set the stage. This is pre 9/11 SEAL teams. It's a lot. Looks like you're just sharpening your knife forever, hoping something happens. It is a lot of, sometimes you get spun up and nothing happens. And there's rumors of something on the horizon. Nothing ever materializes, leaving lots of room for mischief. Lots of room. If you don't give me a mission, I'm going to make one up and you probably won't like it. And we'll probably almost get in a lot of trouble. I was the guy who would pull up a manhole and we'd go explore the sewer system. Or you ever been to a concert and you see the guy climbing the rafters? That was probably me cutting open chem lights and throwing them on the crowd. Yeah. So I was probably a nightmare for the officers in charge, but fun to hang around. I had a lot of close calls, never got written up for drinking excessively. I definitely got a lot of guys like, Joyce, maybe you shouldn't come in today. You look pretty rough, or, people covering for me. But that was just further evidence that I didn't have a problem. Nothing was put on paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Towards the end, after my first deployment, I was beginning to party a little bit more. Like the ecstasy days were coming into fashion. And I felt like I could get that out of my system fast enough. I wouldn't get in trouble, but close calls were still getting closer. There became, I was dabbling in coke. I know a lot of other guys back that era were, and it's funny. In my mind back then, well, I don't want a DUI. I better do some coke. That's my thinking to get me home. That was the smart, wise choice back then. But again, the military doesn't like coke either, so these are also things that I had to deal with. So my re-enlistment's coming up, and this is the part that I didn't really fully grasp until I had to reflect on it later. Being a Navy SEAL was the hardest thing I'd ever done. It was the most fucking awesome brotherhood you could be a part of. No offense to you guys, but for me, it was amazing. The toys, the camaraderie, I mean, everything. It was a life's goal and fulfillment. And I had to make a decision that I could either drink how I wanted to drink and get out, to continue drinking how I want to drink, or I could drink how I wanted to drink and stay in and risk getting in trouble. Those were the two decisions I had to choose from. There was no third where I changed my drinking. That was just either get out or get in. And what was the smarter move? Yeah. And I legitimately thought, okay, listen, the smarter move here is clearly to get out so I don't get in trouble, because I felt like I was a time bomb. I felt like, at any minute, it's just going to go sideways, too many close calls, spider sense tingling. Dude, I got to make a wise choice here. In reflecting back, dude, I freely gave away the hardest thing I had ever achieved so that I could drink how I wanted to drink. I mean, it was an exchange of goods that I didn't really grasp that I was doing. I get out, and lo and behold, 9/11 kicks off. And I'm like, what the, and at this time, let me just also say, when someone who loves America and loves freedom steps the lines, puts their name on it, signs their name to the line, says, I take the oath. I don't know if they realize it, but they give up most of their freedoms in defense of freedom. You know,
Yeah.
that is the cost of freedom, is a bunch of badasses have to give up their freedoms to maintain it.
Yep.
And you don't even realize how much it is until you get out. And guess
Yep.
what? In one day, you get all those freedoms back. And it is a tidal wave of like, I could do whatever the
Not
fuck I want.
everybody.
Not everybody. Oh, okay.
Because if you retire,
Uh-huh.
you can be recalled back in and be court-martialed again. You know, like,
Oh,
so
court-martialed in general, yeah.
retirees still have to be careful about what we do, what we say.
wow.
Is it going to happen? Probably not. They don't have time to deal with retirees that are showing up all the time.
Tracking, retirees left and right.
The
Yeah.
possibility is still there. So for
Gotcha.
retirees, we still have to be careful. Like Willis didn't retire. You didn't retire. So you're free to do whatever. But me having that retired on the end, I gotta watch out. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I don't friggin' walk on eggshells like I did. I don't have a sergeant major breathing down my back or a colonel breathing down my back. But we still, as retirees, have
You
to be
guys
careful
still represent.
what we say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I did not know until just now, but I guarantee I still wouldn't have known it back then. You
Oh
know?
yeah, no, I didn't know it until
Yes.
a couple years ago. You know, and I've been retired for 14 years.
And for me, getting all that freedom back in one day, it was like this. I could do whatever the fuck I could do. No one can tell me no. I don't
Yep.
have to come in. I mean, it was like it was an animal being let out of a cage, and I just kind of went bizarro, crazy world, and just off the chain, coke, ecstasy, I just did everything I could think of because I've been holding myself back, and now the addiction knew no bounds, and so I kind of went crazy. And then 9/11 hits, and I am, like addicts and alcoholics do, holed up in our room watching CNN, going, "Holy shit! Here they're gonna call me," just kind of losing my shit, angry as can be, thinking they're gonna recall me somehow for sure, waiting for that phone call, and it doesn't come. But which at the same time, I was wondering how I was going to be an addict and serve at that time because I was pretty aware that I was using pretty heavily. There's this kind of middle ground that also existed back then called taking a contract. You could still go over, be in the sandbox. I did Afghanistan first, then Iraq, but it's a way to go over and play. It's not the same. It make a lot of money. I can support it. It's great for a drug habit. It fits perfectly for a drug habit. Make a shit ton of money, a 3-month contract. Oh man. Let me tell you this. And I don't know if you guys, I think Sam, you mentioned working a contract before. For me, it was a darker feeling. It was, I'm not doing this in defense of my country. Like the wife isn't going to get a flag if I die. There's no big red button to push and, help comes a running. It felt darker to me. It felt more money driven. And it had a lot to do with where I was at the time. But yeah, contracting kind of felt differently. Did you get that, Sam, when you?
Yeah. So I had a lot of my buddies that contract, and we worked with contractors and that were prior service members. And they're like, it's not, like you said, it's not the same, right? The brotherhood's not there. The camaraderie's not there. It's all about that bottom line of how much money am I making before I go home?
Yeah.
And if I go back home before this date, does it get taxed? Does it not get taxed? So it's all of those things are being talked about, not the mission that they're over there doing. We had Blackwater guys embedded with us near Abu Ghraib prison.
Yeah.
And that was it. Or it was, hey, help me study with this in this book. And I'm looking at the dude. I'm like, what are you studying? He goes, Arabic. If I can get Arabic, that's an extra $200 a month for me.
Yeah.
So he was learning to read and write Arabic on his own with the children's books, right? That have the dotted lines that show you how to make the symbols.
Letters. Wow. Yeah. It was, all about the dollars and cents, and you're not spending it out there as fast because it's just kind of clinking into your bank account, and you will roll back into the States with $90K. Well, let's fucking go, and it was a very almost self-destructive time for me. I would come back and I'd party so hard that my health points would go do like blinking red, claw myself into the taking of the contract, and they send me back over and eat, sleep, and lift, and kind of build up my life force again, and just go on this little cycle. And it also kind of, I began to like, I come back in the States, and just going back and forth so often. Like, I hated red lights. I come at a red light. I hate stopping. I felt like the guy next to me could detonate. I would be so tense that I had to have a couple of beers in me just so I could drive somewhere. I needed to level out so I could function in the stateside. This went back and forth, and you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, the treatment for how I felt was to go back overseas. Yeah. So I was stuck in that little vicious cycle for quite a while. Addiction for me escalates. You just give me more money, that's just more gas on the fire. Spending more, doing more. I kind of went into a crystal meth phase. Man, I was losing tons of weight, not taking care of myself. I weighed 130 pounds. I'm normally 220, so it was 130 pounds. And the guy turned me down for a contract. Like, Dice was like, shit, get your act together. That was close to the enemy hitting bottom. It was, my ego's already bruised. You fucking poke me in the chest, say, well, something's wrong with you. I'm going to fuck you. I'm going to fuck everybody. I'm going to go out and drink and use. The bottom for me, guys, it had a lot, at the time I was married and had a kid. And remember the H1N1, the swine flu pandemic?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know I covered that last time, but fuck, this is for me the fucking where my spirit broke. The daycare called, and I was on a 3-day bender, and I always let it go to voicemail. When I checked the messages, they said your wife's out of the area, that you need to come get them. There's been an exposure to one of the technicians. Please come get your son. I listened to the message, and then you're pretty twacked out of the head, spun after being up 3 days, and you're like, whoa, my son's in trouble. I gotta get there. Okay, let me just finish up. Hit the pipe, and all right, let me just get my shit straight. Okay, I gotta get my shit straight. For 3 hours, the phone's blowing up, and I'm trying to get out of this room. I mean, it got to a point where I am literally crying, tears, realizing I can't get out of this room. And I remember turning my phone off and pushing it under the bed because I knew I couldn't get out of that room. And it was like my whole life I've been training to be a hero. My son needs me, and now I'm a fucking slave to this shit. It was like fucking someone snapped my spirit. I stopped looking in the mirror. Fuck this guy. Fuck all this, and my drinking and using just turned into this, like a passive suicide. Like, you look at the bottle and it's 3/4 full, you shouldn't, but fuck it, you down it, I don't even care kind of shit. That cycle landed me in a treatment center, a state licensed mental health treatment center. It was the Farley Center in Williamsburg. Shout out to the Farley Center. I always got to give them props because fucking right time, right place, right therapist. There was this trifecta of shit.
Yeah.
He said the right thing, and I was like, what? And it was funny. We all do things. We think we're heroes of different types. I always thought I need a gurney, kit bag, M4, all this, a ruck to save the day. And that therapist, that motherfucker, came to work with a cup of coffee that day, and he fucking saved my life with a cup of coffee. That guy was the man. So
yeah, he was the hero of that day,
dude. And that stuck with me when I got out, and I went through the 12 steps of recovery. I got a sponsor. I did every fucking thing they said, and everything in my life shifted. And I was wondering what I wanted to do with my life. And I remember that guy, that therapist in the treatment center. I said, that fucking guy. I went back to school, and I got my associates, my undergrad, my master's, my PhD in counseling. And I went back to that treatment center. I asked them for a job, and I said, you guys saved my life. Can I have a job? And they hired me. And I got to work with that same therapist. So that was like kind of just, it all had to happen for a reason, Yeah.
I know we got a lot to
sure.
try to condense in because Reach Across America, they're like, hey, we need to keep it about this time frame. So we on the first episode we got to talk, pretty much caught up where we are right now, right?
Right.
So if they want to go back and look at the first episode, they go back look at that episode. So you developed what you call the holistic change model.
Yes.
So let's talk about that real quick and kind of keep it like short, short. Not too,
There you go, man. I got you. All right. Holistic change model. When I was in my PhD program, I was wondering how the hell did the 12 steps do this to me? I also recognized a lot of the shit that we're learning in therapy, I had already done in the 12 steps. And to break it down for you, the first 3 steps is the exact same of stages of change. It's something that therapists use to communicate where an addict alcoholic is in their recovery. Steps 4 and 5 is narrative therapy, a therapeutic principle, a way in which therapists interact with their presence that has, tons of success and is used across the country. Steps 6, 7, 8, and 9 are all CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, and it works. It's a proven technique that therapists employ. And then 10, 11, 12 is existential therapy. Those 4 modalities used in that order, it was like, whoa, this is what 12-step recovery does. You know who doesn't know what I just told you? Therapists don't know that their patients who are in 12-step recovery are going through this pattern. The holistic change model is a model that other therapists can use to help their patients navigate the 12 steps. Boom.
All right. And then what warning signs should spouses, battle buddies, and friends recognize before somebody reaches the point of crisis?
Gosh, it's funny. Addiction just isn't just drugs and alcohol. It could be depression. It could be fucking the guys who are workaholics, so consumed with work. The first signs, there's trouble at home. Their spouse feels alone even when you're in the room. Even when you're present, it's like you're not there. You could have kids acting out. The other signs you see, like they're picking up habits they haven't engaged in a while, whether they be drinking, whether they've been obsessing at the gym. All of a sudden they're hyper image focused. All these changes in behaviors are things you're looking for. And when someone's pulling away in high performers, one of our go-tos is isolation. Let me just figure this out. We will pull away before, like when we need to get help the most. Our first instinct is to regroup, reassess. Let me figure this out. Someone who's more distant than they used to be, an old friend who used to be chatty, is no longer communicating with you. These are warning signs that something's up.
Awesome. Now, tell us about after the Trident. Why did you decide that now was the time to tell your whole story?
I know, man. I have a lot of friends say, why did you do this, man? This is like, in recovery circles, this is known as your 4-step. It's listing the good, the bad, and the ugly, everything about you, getting it out so it's no longer a secret. I have found that when I have shared my story with people, believe it or not, my honesty allows them to recognize things about themselves that they thought they were all alone in. When I put this out there, this is not a shoot 'em up Navy SEAL book. This is not an action-packed, look at me, I'm a badass book. This is like all the shit I was ashamed of, going all the way back to my childhood where the programming started. This is where my concept of how I process, how making myself feel differently from the outside began to take hold. All the sneaky shit I was getting away with all the way up and how all that followed me into adulthood. So I got it on paper. And at the end of every chapter, there's 2 things. There's a short little conversation about something you would have with a close friend, mentor, maybe your sponsor, about that chapter of my life. After that is what your therapist might say about that same experience. So out of the 76 different experiences I cover in this book, there's going to be a couple of them at least that you may share. And this may shed some light on why you're acting the way you do.
Mm-hmm. All right. What was harder, living through some of these experiences or putting them on paper, knowing your family and the public would read them?
What was harder? I've been going through it. Was pretty damn hard. What was scarier, is putting them on paper and just, there's a term in recovery. We say, trust the process, just show up, be honest, and let the chips fall where they may. And that I just kind of like, I'm not doing this for any specific person. I'm doing this because people out there might get something out of it. You know, if everything's good in your life and you just like picking on others and complaining, don't read this book. It's not written for you. If you keep blowing your life up, keep making the same mistakes over and over again, or you just feel like, you know, your warning light on your dashboard's blinking, this might be the calling call. This might be the warning, the help you need.
All right. If Tony Dice, at the lowest point of his addiction, were sitting across from you right now, what would Dr. Tony Dice tell him?
Fucking reach across. No, I mean, no, dude, I know for a fact there is nothing you could tell me that would change anything. I was so freaking hard-headed. I would be like, whoa, there's time travel? Tell me about that instead. I would not listen to anything. It is funny that, you know, I've often heard people say, I'll only have to go back, I would do things differently. Like, dude, there were already signs. I had people already trying to give me suggestions and advice. I was going to go this direction, you know. And there's the prologue to that is that, listen, if my journey, the way it happened, as shitty as it was, as fucking horrific as it was, resulted in me ending here, I would absolutely do it again. I am grateful for my journey, the good shit and the bad shit, because it led me here. I am a grateful alcoholic. You know, that's how I see it. So I have to be grateful for the good and the bad if I'm grateful for where it led me.
Yeah. I think Gunny and I, we've talked about that too. Like I asked him the same question. What would you change about the way you did your military service? And what did you say, Gunny?
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It got me to where everything I did got me to the point that I'm at today.
Amen.
Good, bad, ugly, indifferent. Everything I did got me to this spot.
Absolutely. Man.
If I change one thing,
one
thing, I don't have my wife. I don't have my kids. I don't, you know, maybe I don't get blown up, but I don't have my wife and kids. Right.
That's right.
So everything that I went through, everything I experienced brought me to this spot right here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I got to share a friggin' video screen with Willis a couple times a week.
Oh, the sacrifice continues.
Hey, right? But you know what though? Sharing the screen with me twice a week is not that bad.
Well,
it is when you have friggin' dial-up internet, Willis. Come on.
All right, so I'm gonna say I saved this question for last because I think this is a good one, and then we got rapid fire too that we're gonna do as well. Tony, somewhere tonight there's a veteran, cop, firefighter, or first responder sitting alone thinking, everybody thinks I'm strong, but I'm falling apart. What do you want that person to hear?
Yeah, I'm gonna say this, Willis, and Sam and I already talked about this earlier. You weren't here. I want him to hear this, man. Listen, I know you're hurting. I know things aren't going the way you thought. I know you thought you could figure this out, but I want you to know that when you tap me on the shoulder and you are asking me for help, you are bestowing upon me one of the greatest honors of my life. You know, there's no greater honor to me than being chosen to be asked to help you. You know, so understand this. It's not a burden. It's not, you know, a disrespect. It's not a slight on you. I am honored that you would choose me to be the person that you're going to say, hey, give me a hand. You have to ask though. You know, I can throw the life preserver to you it could land right fucking in front of you, but you got to put your arm in it. You got to participate in your own rescue. You have to say, it's as simple as, hey, I'm not okay. Those words are so fucking hard for us to say, but that is the code word, man. That's the magic sauce right there. You got to let me know I'm not okay, man.
Yeah, those are hard words to say, is that I'm not okay. I mean, with me and my wife, so my first wife, you know, that situation was like 3 months in bloom, you know, but this, my wife that I'm married to now, I wanted to protect her from the shit that was going on in my brain. So I didn't tell her the stuff that was going on in my brain for a really, really long time. And then I had kids, and I was like, oh, I don't want to bring up any of this. So I try to hide all of that stuff. So it's hard. It's hard to say, hey, I'm not okay. It's and still to this day, I still don't ask for help very often. It's very rarely that I'll ask for help. And a lot of that stems from my childhood, which we all here, we didn't have great childhood. Our childhood was not great. So I grew up at a very early age and had to do things for myself. And we talk about breaking generational curses, right? Like I broke my generational curses because my mom, she worked 2 jobs. My dad was never there. Well, my kids, they don't have to worry about that because I'm here, my wife's here, but we created another set of problems. So it's one of those things. It's like, all right, so they don't have to deal with, divorced parents, and they don't have to deal with, getting beat like I did or anything of that nature. But yet now they're more on the entitled side where they think, oh, well, I need this. So it's just like, it's one of those, it's kind of a double-edged sword, but it is what it is.
It's a balance, man.
Yeah, it is definitely a fine balance.
Yeah. So before we move into rapid fire, where can people find your book?
All right, Amazon. Amazon's got everything, man. You go on Amazon, Dr. Dice, boom. You can go to Dr. Dice Books, and they'll give you some previews, some cool imagery, and some more links. But drdicebooks.com, Amazon.com, or go on any social media anywhere and go Dr. Dice, and boom, this fucking ugly face will pop up.
Is it on audio?
Let me tell you something, guys. I haven't shared this with anybody yet. All right. I just finished the recording of the audiobook. Read it myself. Dude, my hat's off to anyone who's done that. It's fucking hard reading all those words in a row, pronunciating everything clearly. It was hard. And trying to keep the energy up, and trying to go, whoa, 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 whoa. It was hard. But no one else knows this. There are 2 bonus chapters hidden in the audiobook only that are not in the hard copy. So, boom, you heard it here first.
Awesome.
Heck yeah.
All right, so we're ready for some rapid fire questions. There's 8 of them. All right, you ready for these? All right, I'm gonna put you full screen.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, it's too
all right,
much.
here we go. Field teams or firehouse, which had better trash talk?
SEAL teams.
Awesome. All right, one thing civilians get completely wrong about Navy SEALs.
Everything. The movies ruined it. The books ruined it. We're just fucking people who are.
You mean the Charlie Sheen Navy SEAL movies not accurate?
Not accurate at all, man, dude.
All right. Next question: coffee or energy drinks?
Coffee.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right. Most important characteristic in a good therapist?
Ooh. Gosh. Okay. Characteristics in a good therapist. I'm partial. I love therapists who have had fucked up lives. So I think having a fucked up past. I love a good therapist with a good story.
Awesome. One word that describes addiction.
More than you realize. It is everywhere. It is fucking everywhere.
Awesome. One word that describes recovery.
Gosh, one word. I would put emotional compulsivity. I mean, it's about you understanding there's a problem.
All right. Who is your battle buddy today?
My battle buddy today is my sponsor, man. Hats off, Palmer. Thank you, sir.
Heck yeah. All right. And then finish this sentence. Recovery gave me
everything. Without this, there is no that. I mean, without this, there's no kids. There's no freaking religion. There's no going to get milk. I mean, everything good in my life, I owe to taking those first steps. Everything.
That's awesome, brother. Appreciate you doing that rapid fire with us, man.
Sure, man. Woo.
All right. So everybody can get your book on drdice.com or drdicebooks.com or go to Google.
Yep.
Go to Google and search Dr. Tony Dice and get his book and get it. and read it.
Read it. Hey, read it. If you get something out of it, leave a review. Reviews are so important. And then fucking give it to someone else. Don't put it up on your freaking bookshelf gathering dust.
Yeah,
recycle that shit
behind your fucking back, Willis.
Don't be so selfish.
Look at Gunny's book collection.
Share that shit, man. Share that shit.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah, man. Well, before we drop you down in the green room and finish up the show, last parting words.
Last parting words. Guys, listen, you are not alone. That's the theme of my whole story, man. You think you're twisted. You think you've done shit that no one knows about. Dude, I've worked with so many guys. The stories are exactly the same, just the details are different. You are not alone.
I love it. Stealing my thunder. I don't gotta do my pizza tonight.
I know, right? Stealing your thunder. All right, sir. Well, we're going to drop you in the green room.
All right.
If you want to hang out, we'll talk afterwards. If not, if you got things to do, we understand that as well. Thank you, sir. All right, Gunny. Let's do this one. Let's put us back over here. Yeah, I got you. All right, so I'm trying to upload these real quick. I'm sure you see them popping in down there. Upcoming shows. I'm going to talk about them first.
Yep.
So up first, coming up on 8/23, we got the Price of Freedom Foundation, preserving the full life stories of U.S. military members who gave everything in service to our nation.
That's next Sunday.
That's next Sunday, 8/23. And then
you're going to be on that one alone.
Yep.
I'm in Maine. I've got a show that night.
Yep. And then on Monday, we have VTC3, which is Venom Tactical Techniques Training and Consulting, with special guest Stephen Page, founder of. So that's 8/24. So that's on Monday. So make sure you tune in for that as well. All right, Gunny, let's do it. Are you ready?
Yeah, man.
All right. Let's see. Here we go.
Gunny's Words of Wisdom.
Be a buffalo.
Say that again for the people.
Be a buffalo. And what I mean is, when a storm starts rolling in on the high plains, the buffalo take off toward the storm so they can get through it quicker.
Okay. So be a buffalo.
Be a buffalo.
I like it. All right. Let's see.
You better have a good one today, my guy.
I'm looking. All right.
Yeah, well, you should have had that queued up, but your dial-up internet
I
is
know.
just now online to get you your joke. Okay, I got one. Play it.
All right, here we go. You got it today?
Yep.
It's time for the joke of the day.
So it's more of a Confucius. And I got this from my son, Miles.
All right.
Confucius say, man who go to bed with itchy butt, wake up with smelly finger.
Here we go. We'll do this one.
The mind of a 16-year-old.
Oh, hell. All right, Gunny, time to wrap it down. Let's go.
Yeah, Dr. Dice hit on it earlier. You're not alone. You're not alone at all. You still have worth. You still have value. That $1 bill that's on the ground that everybody stepped on, that has gum stuck to it, that's ripped a little bit, that's been stuck in a stripper's butt crack, is still worth $1 at the end of the day.
Never mind. In the silence of your struggles, remember, though unseen, you are deeply held in the hearts of others. You're not alone. The uniform may come off, but the bond remains. And together we heal, together we rise, and together we carry each other forward. Key word there is together. We as veterans, we need to help support each other. Just humans in general, we need to support each other and quit cutting each other down. So the key word there is together. Up next is Be Someone's Stranger. Yeah, definitely. be someone stranger. What I mean by that, we as humans, we're more apt to talk to a complete stranger than the ones we love the most. So be someone stranger today. And if you're out and about and you see somebody and it looks like they're having a bad day, go up to them, say, hey, how are you doing today? And if they give you the red flags, I'm okay, I'm hanging in there, I'm living the dream, ask the next hard question. How are you really doing? And be ready for, did you take it off?
No, I didn't take anything off.
No. And be ready for that conversation. It could be a 5-minute conversation. It could be an 8-hour conversation. And we just want you to listen. We don't want you to try to fix. We just sometimes need to get that demon out. Whatever's on our brain, whatever's on our heart that day, we just need to get it out.
Yeah, and it takes a village. We can't do this alone. No matter how much you think you can, from day one at recruit training, we're taught we're in this together as a team. When you deploy, you don't deploy as a single person. You're always there with somebody else. We all have our own little village right here in our hand. Pick it up, open your contacts, blindly scroll through and hit a name. They pick it up. Hey, brother, just thinking about you today. See how you're doing. Or maybe you're the one that needs that ear and you're like, hey, you got 5 minutes for me to talk. Who knows? Your voice that day might be the one that saves their life.
Amen. All right. Time for community partners. Up first, we're going to talk about sofmissions.org.
Yeah, SOF Missions out of Tampa. Great organization. Can't say it enough. Willis and I talk about it every single week. We had a follow-up with Dr. Freeman after we got back from the clinic. We talked about it after we got back from the clinic. If you are a service member or first responder, go to sofmissions.org. Check them out. They do clinics throughout the year. They have 2 all-female clinics. Everything in this clinic is catered to you, the individual, with the exception of your dinners and there's some group time. But other than that, everything is catered to you. They do a 365-day follow-up care if you want it. I just did my 90-day last week before I took off. And, supplements, workout plans, golf instructors, much, much more. If you're a first responder that is going to apply, under branch is where you will find fire, police, or EMS. It's at the very bottom. So application under branch, fire, police, EMS at the very bottom underneath the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, Space Force, Coast Guard.
So you should have done your 6-month follow-up. That's what I just got.
Well, I just did 9. Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. 6 months. Did I say 90 day?
You
Yeah,
said
6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I've been blown up times.
Yeah, right. So I just had my 6-month from the SOF team, and I actually just reached out to them via the team chat that they have, because I got a veteran that needs the housing down in Tampa. So I reached out to them to see if they knew anybody that could help this veteran out there. So I'm waiting for them to respond. Hopefully they respond during business hours on Monday. But up next is heroesmediagroup.com. Listen, I said it last episode. Unfortunately, we couldn't go live because StreamYard was being difficult that night. But if you're a praying type, say a prayer for Adam at Heroes Media Group. Don't want to get into it. That's his story to tell. But check out heroesmediagroup.com. What he does for veterans, like if you're an author and you want to turn your book into audiobook, they'll help you do that. If you are a podcaster and you want to be within the HMG family, he'll help you do that. If you need podcast production, whatever, he can help you do that. And there's a whole list of other things that he can do for you. But check out heroesmediagroup.com. My mic messed up again. All right, Jim, you got this one?
Yeah, you're going like this, and it sounds like, I mean, come on. Yeah, so Reach Across America .org. We've been partners with Reach Across America for going on, 2.5 years now, 3 years. Man, Jeff and his team are absolutely amazing. You can find us on Reach Across America Radio Thursday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern. Or you just go to reachacrossamerica.org/radio and, click on any of the shows. They have great stuff going on 24 hours a day.
Heck yeah. Up next is sameflagsameoath.com. This is a small veteran-owned company in Texas. I don't want to just say t-shirt company because they do hats and other things as well. So same flag, same oath.com. They partner with nonprofits from around the country. They do shirts for them. Uncle Sam's not wearing our Marine It Down shirt, but that's a co-branded shirt. We get 25% of all sales. And what we do with that percentage of that is, well, all of it goes to nonprofit. So we'll spend, whoever it lands on gets that. But we also created 5 other shirts through Same Flag, Same Oath, which I'll bring up here on the screen here in just a minute. But yeah, you can go to our website, HomeFrontSitRep.com, and you can get one of our shirts. So we got our Marina Down, which is a co-branded shirt. We got the Spicy Pineapple, which has got the funny line on the back, tossing joy in people's lives since 1918. Then you got our Homefront SitRep shirt. Then we got our Red Friday shirt, hashtag You're Not Alone, and hashtag Be Someone Stranger. You get those from our website, HomefrontSitRep.com. Click on the merch. Some of the shirts have multicolored shirts, like you could do 4 different colors, and then the font colors change.
Well, it's a solid color, but the full shirt color changes.
Yeah. All right. Up next, who do we got up next? Gunny?
I know who we got up next. Elite Engraving. Anything that you need laser engraved, they can do for you. Obviously, they do hats. They do koozies. They do glass. They do wood. They do metal. Man, check them out. EliteEngraving.24.com. I can't say enough great things about this husband and wife veteran owned company. He was in the Army. She was in the Air Force. But yeah, EliteEngraving24.com. They'll take care of all your needs.
I'm going to throw this commercial up real quick for them.
Army grit and Air Force pride, crafted with precision every time. From hats to awards, your brand will shine. Elite Engraving, one of a kind. Elite Engraving, made with pride. Veteran owned, we're on your side. Custom gifts and branding done right. Elite Engraving, precision in every line.
I like that commercial.
See, I'm surprised you haven't put the video in here yet to start off that one.
Which you talking about? Yeah, that video. Yeah. Up next is ValorCoinsAndPins.com. This is Brent and Brian Casey, the grandsons of Herschel Woody Williams, Medal of Honor recipient from World War II. Also the founder of the Woody Williams Foundation, which puts Gold Stars monuments up across the country to recognize and honor Gold Star families. But Brent and Brian Casey, they created Valor Coins and Pins. They do challenge coins, they do pins, they do patches, they do a little bit of everything, and then a percentage of each sale. Now they don't have individual coins for sale. You have to buy like
each order. Each bulk order.
You got to order 100, a minimum of 100 coins, I believe. But 10, I forget what percentage, but goes to the Woody Williams Foundation. Do they do another foundation too, or just Woody Williams?
They just do Woody's.
So yeah, check out ValorCoinsAndPins.com.
Yeah, RDC Shoes. Darren Davis, Marine Corps veteran, former law enforcement officer. Him and his wife started this shoe company, probably 8-10 years ago. Right now they have the Glory, which is a red and white shoe, and then like the top where your foot goes in is blue, along with the tongue, and that on the back of it has a Folds of Honor logo, and a portion of the proceeds from the sales of that go to support Folds of Honor in their scholarship program. And then they have the Patriot, which is the blue stars in the field, or the blue field with the stars. I'm tired, bro. And then the red and white tongue. A portion of the proceeds from that go to the Woody Williams Foundation and the Medal of Honor Society. And each shoe that you order, each pair of shoes that you order, comes with a 8.5 by 11 hero card of a Medal of Honor recipient.
Yeah, I love my Patriots. They're so dang comfortable. I was wearing them today to church, and I had 4 guys stop me and say, "Hey, where'd you get your shoes?" I was like, rdcshoes.com. So go check out rdcshoes.com. Up last is HomeFrontSitRep.com. Go check out our website. You can see all these great veteran business owners, veteran authors, veteran nonprofits. They're all listed on there. Needs to be updated. So if you're a website guru, hit me up because I need somebody to help me update my website to keep it updated. So check out HomeFrontSitRep.com.
Need to find you a high school kid that needs some community service hours.
Yeah, I do.
It's a requirement for graduation.
Yeah, I'll have to see what we can do. But anyway, Gunny, it's that time of night, my friend.
Yeah, man.
Like we always say on Homefront SitRep, stay safe out there.
We got your 6.
Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Suggestions and comments are always welcome.
Cannot wait to have another great show with y'all.
Don't forget you can find HomeFront SitRep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Stay safe out there. I got your 6.